Welcome to Poplar Creek Tiny Home Village. Let me show you around. The cost of a single family house, at least in the area where I live, is about $400,000. And that is just really out of reach for a lot of people. We are a bring your own tiny home village. And so you can bring a tiny home from any reputable builder. Part of what really excites me about having a community like this is providing opportunities for residents to gather and to get to know each other and to really create an atmosphere that feels like home. So there are a lot of challenges when you want to start a tiny home village. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of places that really understand what tiny home living is.
Will you join me? Will you roll? Make this house our tiny home.
Hi, I'm Diedra, and welcome to Poplar Creek Tiny Home Village. So the reason I wanted to start a tiny home village, I was an attorney in my previous life, and I was burnt out from the corporate grind, and I wanted to do something more. And I always had an interest in real estate, and I always had a dream of doing a tiny home village in the mountains of North Carolina. And so when I finally decided to leave corporate America, my husband and I were trying to figure out what that next move was going to be, and we kind of fell into this property. We came across the listing. It was an old mobile home park, and so it had some of the infrastructure that we would need to build a tiny home village. So we pulled the trigger and we purchased the property, and then we started development, and now over a year later, here we are. This is phase one of Poplar Creek. We've got 10 lots that are available in phase one, and we are a bring your own tiny home village. And so you can bring a tiny home from any reputable builder. We even allow DIY tiny home builders so long as the home is NOAA certified. So it either has to be a park model tiny home that's ANSI built, or it's got to be a NOAA certified tiny home. So to start this project, not including the cost of the land itself, was about $200,000. And a lot of that was bootstrapped by my husband and I, who is my business partner, because we really believed in the idea behind Poplar Creek, and we really felt that there was a need for more parking spaces for tiny home dwellers. So there are a lot of challenges when you want to start a tiny home village. The first is finding the right piece of land that's in a jurisdiction that will allow you to build this type of community. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of places that really understand what tiny home living is, and so we're actually zoned as an RV park. And a lot of tiny homes fall under that designation because tiny homes on wheels, which is what we require, are all considered RVs. So our lots in phase one are $650 a month, and that includes access to our amenities, which are our pavilion, our fire pit, our community garden. It also includes the grounds maintenance and the trash and recycle and your internet. Our lot rents do not include water or electricity because each home site is separately metered, and so the resident pays for what they use. In order for us to solve the housing crisis that's going on in the country right now, that we have to think differently and we have to come up with new and different approaches. And the cost of a single family house, at least in the area where I live, is about $400,000. And that is just really out of reach for a lot of people. And so I wanted to create a space that had a community feel. I wanted to create a space that has some sustainability aspects. And I wanted to create a space that was more affordable than your typical single family house. And so that's why I'm really invested in tiny home living. That's why I believe this is a solution to help solving the housing crisis. And we wanted to create something that hopefully would stand the test of time and that people would love and really embrace. Welcome to Poplar Creek Tiny Home Village. Let me show you around. So over here we have our trash and recycle pickup. They're bright green, so we wanted to cover them up a little bit, so we built a little blind so they're kind of out of the way and it's not the first thing that you see, or at least it's not the first thing that lot 10 sees when they wake up in the morning. But we've got trash and recycle picked up every week for trash and every other week for recycle. So one of the sustainable opportunities that we had on the project is to bring in some solar lights. And so we love this because we've got solar lights all around the drive for the community. And it's great because it's an efficient way for us to bring in some nice light, especially in the evening, but it's really nice and allows residents to kind of see where they are and see where they're going as they're driving in. So we have 10 lots in phase 1, and so this is lot 10 and it goes all the way around. I call this the lower loop just because it kind of sits down a little bit, and I call on top the upper loop. And so we've got 5 houses on the lower loop, and then we've got 5 homes on the upper loop. We have gravel pads and gravel drive. That was just a cost-effective way for us to bring in our driveway and all of our pads. And so we are constantly making sure that we've got enough gravel. We're constantly bringing in mulch and kind of doing what we can in order to improve and enhance the appeal of the community. So behind us is our pavilion. It's a structure that really allows our residents to come and spend some time together. We've got a grill back there where they can grill out. Behind the pavilion, we've got 2 shipping containers. We've got a nice mural painted on one with our logo. The goal is to convert those into storage units so that we've got opportunities for residents to use those as storage. And so we'll plan to do that in the coming months. So we really allow residents the flexibility with kind of making their pad their own and bringing their own personal touches to it. So you can see here they've made themselves a nice little sitting area with an outdoor garden. And it's things like this that I think that really help to make the community feel like home. Now I'm going to take you over to our community garden, which is one of the amenities that we offer our residents. Let's go. So this is our community garden. It's up for the residents to come and plant whatever they like, whether it's vegetables, flowers. You know, we really want to give them the opportunity to use this as they would like. And I'll take you over here. This is a really interesting feature. So we did bring in a main water line when we were doing construction, but there was an existing well that was on the property. And so rather than abandoning the well, we decided that we wanted to convert it into a solar paneled well. And so that's still under construction right now, but that should be wrapped up soon. And then we'll be able to provide water and irrigation for the garden, which is right here. So residents are allowed to build decking and stairs around their home. We want to make sure that residents can use their lot and their pad the way that they want. And so allowing this as an opportunity for personalization, and it also enhances the overall look and feel of the community. So now we're on the upper loops. We're going to go from the garden over to the fire pit, which is located between lots 2 and 3. Part of what really excites me about having a community like this is providing opportunities for residents to gather and to get to know each other and to really create an atmosphere that feels like home. And I love sitting outside by a fire pit, so this was a no-brainer as far as amenities were concerned from my perspective. And the residents have gotten a lot of really good use out of it. And now that we're going into the warmer months, we expect it to get even more use. And so again, this is just one more opportunity to create community and to bring people together. For each lot, like I mentioned, they're all separately metered for water and for electrical. And so we built these blinds, which houses all of those connections, just to give it a nice clean look across the property. So this is our community library. It's really special because my daughters helped to paint it, and so that kind of brings in a nice personal touch. But again, it's just an opportunity for residents to exchange books. Hopefully they'll find each other here and they'll connect over the latest story that they read, but something just to bring folks together. So we actually have a unique opportunity right now because we have a tiny house that is for sale, and that's the only opportunity right now to get into phase 1. Phase 2 will start construction in about 6 weeks, so in the May or June timeframe, and we expect that construction will complete around October or November. Fingers crossed. You never know with construction what it's going to do. So if anyone is interested in moving into Poplar Creek sooner, we do have a space that's going to be opening up very soon. The entire parcel is about 10 acres, so we've got about 7 left to work with to bring in 20 more lots. And so we'll have 20 more lots in phase 2. We'll have the same amenities that we have here in phase 1, which include a pavilion, a community garden, a fire pit, but we'll also have the addition of a dog park in phase 2, which is really exciting. And we're really looking forward to expanding and welcoming more residents into our community who really want to embrace this lifestyle. So phase 2 is going to be located over on this side of the property. Like I said, the entire parcel is 10 acres, and phase 1 is only about 3.5 of those acres. So we've got about 6.5 that we have to play with for phase 2. So the road is going to get cut in right here. We're going to cross the creek, and then we'll add 20 more home sites for phase 2. Whether it's tiny housing or RV housing, people are looking for more alternative ways to live. And so the more people build these communities, the more jurisdictions and municipalities will understand what they're about, the more they will celebrate them and welcome them coming into their community. And I think we are really helping to solve the housing crisis. And so even though it's a little daunting to do construction and to do development, it is well worth it, especially once you prepare and you understand what you're getting yourself into. Starting this tiny home village has completely changed my life. I used to be a corporate attorney. I used to be in the office. I used to be on calls and in meetings all day, stuck inside. Now I'm able to build something and create something, not just that has a passion for housing and for real estate development, but really kind of taps into my creative nature. And again, it's building something that's that has longevity, and building something that's sustainable, that's going to outlive me. And so I get to spend my days and my time doing things that I really love. And so now I'm a happier person, I'm a better mom, I'm a better wife. I'm better in all aspects of my life because I'm doing something that really lights me up and that brings me joy.
Thanks for watching this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you soon with another unique home tour.